speaking of across the pond, I just saw this story pop up about Sinead O'Connor and her wax figure. Apparently, it's been pulled because it looks terrible. Did you see this?
No.
Jenny? Yeah, this is from The Guardian. Sinead O'Connor wax work pulled from Dublin Museum after backlash. The Irish singer's brother speaks of shock at hideous figure, which looked nothing like her. And when I look at the image in the article, again, this is from The Guardian, it looks like, reminds me of, I forget the name of the character now, from the first Star Trek movie, the woman with the shaved head. But it says Dublin's Wax Museum is withdrawing a figure of Sinead O'Connor amid criticism from her family and members of the public that it looked nothing like her. Many reacted with shock when the waxwork figure was unveiled on Thursday. The museum's team met on Friday morning and decided to remove the waxwork of the Irish singer, admitting that it can do better and pledging to create a more accurate representation. Her brother, John O'Connor, said he was shocked when he first saw it online and said it did not look like her at all. Speaking on RTA Radio's Live Line program on Friday after it was announced the figure would be withdrawn, he said he had not been made aware that a waxwork of his sister was to be unveiled this week.
They didn't even tell the family?
Isn't that weird?
It's very weird. I just sent you the picture, Miriam, so you could take a look at it too.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I don't think it looks like her. I think it
pretty
looks generic looking. It kind of looks like a generic
the
mannequin.
name of the Star Trek. Sorry, I interrupted.
The name of the
I
what?
remember the name. Yeah.
Yeah, the character from Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like,
Savick or something. I can't remember. That's the one.
Quark?
No, from the first Star Trek movie. The very first movie in '79. You know, the one where they had the uniforms that looked like pajamas. There's a character with
honestly can't remember.
Female with a bald head. I can't remember.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I can't think of her name.
The brother said, quote, "When I saw it online yesterday, I was shocked. I thought it looked something between a mannequin and something out of the Thunderbirds. I thought Sinead would have been very fond of looking well, and she certainly did. And if it was supposed to be a representation of her in her early 20s, when she did Nothing Compares to You, it just looked nothing like her. I thought it was hideous. A friend of mine said to me last night that he'd seen better in Shaw's department store in the window. There's also enough visual stuff out there in terms of videos and photos that show what she did look like," unquote. O'Connor suggested that a better way to honor his sister would be to put a statue of her in Dublin. He said it was particularly upsetting to speak about the issue on Friday, the first anniversary of her death at the age of 56. Okay, so it was a year ago that Sinead O'Connor passed away.
Yes, natural causes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she was just found down.
Yeah, well, because
in her home.
There was speculation at the time that she may have committed suicide.
It was not. It was a natural cause.
Because her son, I think, just within...
He did commit suicide.
Yeah.
Within I think it had been like about a year or so.
Yeah.
He was very young, too.
Yeah.
She had a lot of strife in her life, a lot of pain and suffering in her life that channeled into her music, that actually promoted her popularity because people could relate to her pain.
Yeah.
In ways that nobody else had brought it out. She was very unique in her style. I think she had 4 kids, I want to say.
I don't know.
She had a few.
Yeah.
But I'm not exactly positive on how many. But it's weird that they would put up something like this and unveil it, but not have wouldn't you want the family present to unveil the statue?
You would think.
Right. Yeah, I mean, unless they were thinking, this doesn't look that great. Let's just not say anything and maybe they won't notice.
Really? Did you see how many people turned out for her funeral? No one's going to notice. Give me a break.
Well, if you just, you keep it on the DL, with the wax figure, just let it get out there organically, maybe, but that way, if the family doesn't know right away, but it's been there for a while, it's harder. Then it's like, say a year went by and the family had no idea. And then one day the brother notices. If it's already been there for a year, then it'd be kind of awkward for the brother to be like, hey, can you get rid of this? It's like, dude, it's already been there a year.
The facial structure isn't even close.
Well,
I'm looking at this mannequin and looking at pictures of her and going, I can understand why her brother was upset.
Uh-huh. Well, maybe there's something about her that's just difficult to recreate as a wax figure.
I think, come on. Now they round it.
Maybe there's something about, maybe there's something about Irish people that's just hard to.
Stop it.
Hey, I can say that. I'm Irish, so it's
Here he
not
goes.
it's not racist. I'm
All he's
Irish.
talking about is Irish melon.
Yes, I do. I have an enormous head because Irish people have large
Your
heads.
poor mother.
And yeah, no kidding, huh? Yeah, she was pretty torn up about it. But
but
I realized years ago what? No, she was like, "Wow, my son has a freakishly large head. That's upsetting." But years and years ago, see, I never realized it for a lot of my life. And then one night I'm watching Conan O'Brien, and he made a joke about his own very large head and said Irish people have large heads. And I'd never thought about this is 100% true, by the way. This isn't just to be funny. This is true. And I'd never thought about it before until he said that. And I was like, wait, do I have a large head? And I went to look in the bathroom mirror and I was like, yeah, I do have a large head. And I'd never thought about it before, but I do. And then I realized that it is true. Like Chris Matthews, I used to watch a lot of Hardball. Chris Matthews, he has a large head. He's got a big Irish melon. And who else? Tip O'Neill had a very large head. It's just something Irish people have. I mean, and then I thought, wow, I do. I have a big Irish head. I look like a South Park character. I got this enormous head, but that's okay. I need a large head to hold my enormous brain.
That's right.
Oh my God.
So it's
the ego.
That's why Irish people are
We're
so
gonna have
smart.
to shove him through the door to fit him through at the end of the day.
That's why we're so smart. We have enormous heads to hold our enormous brains.
Oh my.
See, it all makes sense. But I have to say, in this picture of the wax figure, I can't see how large the head is in proportion with the rest of the body. So I don't know if they made her with a large head or if she even had a large head. I never noticed if Sinead O'Connor had a large head, but I assume she did.
Stuck on this, aren't you?
Well, she's Irish, so.
Yes, she's Irish.
So she must have had a large head. We all do.
Actually, I thought she was kind of demure,
Little
smaller in size. Yeah.
Maybe.
Not all Irish people have big heads like you, Matt.
Maybe the people, when they made the wax figure, they created her with a larger head than she actually had because they figured, well, she's Irish. Obviously, we need to put this enormous head on top of her.
Well, they did make it more rounded and less narrow than it truly is. So
You think so? Is that your assessment?
that is my assessment. Yes,
It's too round?
it's too round.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah. But my head is round and I'm Irish.
But hers has a narrowing chin. It's not fully rounded.
Actually, mine's not fully rounded either because I have a point.
You do not have a point.
I have a pointy head.
It's not pointy.
I am from France. I do. I have a cone head.
This is what I've had to put up with all morning, Miriam.
Oh no.
So the brother, he told on this radio show, he said, quote, "I lost my sister, and to me that's important. Since she's not here to defend herself or to speak for herself, I just took it upon myself to contact you about it," unquote. Yeah, because sometimes, because it's not like they only do wax figures of dead people, right? Sometimes they do wax figures of people who are alive. Like somebody somewhere made a wax figure of The Rock, and I remember The Rock was like making fun of it, like, wow, that doesn't look like me.
There's a whole museum in London, the Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, that's full of people who are still alive.
Did you go there when you were?
I did not that visit to London, but a previous visit to London.
Oh, okay.
I did go in there.
Now, if you were to walk in there, today and they had a wax figure of Sinead O'Connor and it looked like this, would you say something? Would you be like, hey, what are you people doing?
I might mutter to myself, I don't think that looks like her.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
you would, but you wouldn't say anything.
Just kind of walk by probably. And,
yeah.
You know, just look at the next thing.
See, that's what they were counting on. People to just walk by,
just walking by, and
not
saying
care.
too
You know,
much. I don't know if I'd have said anything.
Yeah. I think the whole concept is kind of weird, to be honest with you. Spooky.
Yes.
If it's a dead person.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think it's spooky. I think
there horror movies have been made about wax museums, and they're like a Vincent Price.
Exactly. See, that's the thing. That's what freaks me out.
Right. And I think the whole premise of that movie is that they weren't wax figures; they were people covered in wax.
Right. See, that
it's very creepy.
That would be upsetting.
Wasn't there a Doctor Who episode like that?
Probably. There are Doctor Who figures in the Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, which are very cool.
Ooh, I wonder how
really
many
fun.
of the Doctor Who's
had,
they have.
When I first saw that, it was like I had sort of recently become aware of Doctor Who. I started dating a guy in 1979 that was a big Doctor Who fan, and I went to London in 1982, and I saw all these wax figures of all the characters and things up to that point.
Yeah.
They have a wax figure of a Dalek.
Of a Dalek, yes, they do.
They do?
Oh yeah.
I said that kind of sarcastically, but I didn't expect you
Oh
to
yeah,
say
they
that
have
they
all
do.
kinds of crazy things.
Oh, they must have a weeping angel
I mean,
then.
Probably. I haven't been there since that.
See, now I'm on a
happened.
Doctor Who kick.
Oh. Well, so there's a little bit more to this. Paddy Dunning, the Wax Museum, that's a very, Paddy, Paddy, that's a very Irish name. The Wax Museum director, who said he was a longtime friend of Sinead O'Connor, apologized to the family. He said that the Wax Museum sculptor, P.J. Harity, delivered the figure the night before it was unveiled. He said the artist had done fantastic work in previous years, but has not been feeling well and had retired. I get it. So the artist wasn't feeling well.
And they pulled him out of retirement, apparently, to do this.
Yes.
So there might have been a little spite involved there.
Right. He was probably like,
I was retired.
I was enjoying my retirement, but now I'm resentful, so I'm going to sabotage
Now
the
I'm
Sinead
angry.
O'Connor
petty.
wax figure. Yes,
That's
yeah,
petty.
That is petty.
Angry.
If I were if I were a resentful wax figure sculptor, I would not. I would still try to do a good job. I mean, I might be mad about it, but
They are kind of creepy.
They're very
wax figures, yeah,
Well, yeah.
yeah.
They look like dead people standing.
They do, and
So-
they don't always look like the people that they're made to look like.
No.
I don't know that I was really all that impressed with very many of them.
Did you find it creepy walking through all of these?
It was creepy, and the lights are kind of low. Maybe they're hoping you're not going to notice the imperfections. I don't know. It seems like the lights were low.
That's the trick.
Did you see
Dim lighting.
Did you see any that you looked at where you thought this one doesn't look quite right? I wonder if the person who created this particular wax figure had been pulled out of retirement and was feeling resentful.
I did not think that.
Yeah,
And not feeling well.
No,
And not
that did
feeling well,
not
yeah.
even occur to me.
yeah. Wow.
Strangely enough,
What was your favorite part of being there?
being in London.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just curious, was there a favorite location or just...
Covent Garden is my favorite place, probably in the world. I haven't traveled that much, but London is pretty far from home. Covent Garden is like a big sort of outdoor mall, but a lot older. So really old buildings. It's kind of open, but it has a roof on it. And they have like flea market stalls kinds of things and shops. They used to have a magic stand, like they had magicians there and they were selling the little cheap magic tricks that you could buy, and usually street performers. And that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. There's a little bit more to this. So the guy, this Paddy Dunning guy said, when I had a look at the statue, I walked in to launch it, and when I saw it, I didn't get that feeling that I normally get from PJ's fantastic work. My heart sunk a little bit. We went ahead with the launch, and I didn't sleep last night, unquote. Asked by O'Connor on the radio program if the Dublin National Wax Museum was doing this to get publicity, Dunning said, quote, "No, absolutely not. The Wax Museum runs itself without publicity. We have a launch, and that's it. I had to take the decision to cancel the statue, and we'll go again, and we'll remodel, and we have to do better on this occasion," unquote.